Hey guys, it's Ep57 here, and welcome back to episode 57 of our Manchester City Ground. Now in today's episode, we've got some big games to play. The first game, not so much, is against Middlesbrough. It's away in the league, but after that we've got the quarterfinals of the Champions League to play against PSG. Huge match for us to play. We're obviously going to be playing that match, of course. That's the first leg. Then we've got a game against Sunderland, which I haven't fully decided what we're going to do yet. We might sim the game despite it being away. We might play it, I'm not 100% sure. But then after that, we've got obviously the second leg of the PSG match to play in the Champions League as well. So we'll see how we get on. 2 games against PSG in today's episode, 2 big matches. Hopefully going to be able to beat them and get into the semi-finals and progress obviously through the Champions League. Before we get into today's episode though, if we could try and hit 100 likes, I'd really appreciate it. Also, if you're new to the channel, maybe you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button as well down below, and that'd be absolutely fantastic. I really do appreciate all the support on the channel. It's fantastic to see. Let's crack on to this game against Middlesbrough. We're actually going to go for a 3-5-2 formation in this game. The reason for that is because I'm suspecting that Middlesbrough are going to play a 4-1-4-1 formation, which obviously means they're going to be quite defensive. I'm going to put 2 strikers up against their 4 defenders, and we're also going to have 3 centre-backs up against their 1 striker. So that's how we're going to try and play it. We can always revert back to the 4-2-3-1 formation at some point, but for now we're going to start off as a 3-5-2 in this game, just to try and make sure that we are able to break down Middlesbrough quite early on in the game. This is the team I'm going to go with: Edison, Company, Mangala, Ferreira, Gundogan, Suarez, Cancelo, Ferreira, Delph, Moreno and Sergio Aguero all starting this game. So it's a rotated team, but that's because PSG is in about 4 days' time, so we have to think about that game as well. We're currently in a really good position in the league, so we can afford to drop points here and there. Of course, that's never going to be our aim, but we'll wait and see how we get on here against Middlesbrough, try and get ourselves another win. Okay, then here we go for this game at the Riverside Stadium. Let's see how we get on against Middlesbrough. I'm hoping that they do end up playing this 4-1-4-1 formation, because that's obviously what we've planned for. So if it is that they just have 1 striker, that's obviously going to be great news for us. Then we've got 3 centre-backs to be able to deal with them, and let's wait and see exactly how they do end up setting up. I'm hoping that the wingers don't cause us too many issues, because like I say, we've planned to play 3 at the back, so we shouldn't hopefully have too much coming in from their wingers, but we'll wait and see. Moreno going up to Sergio Aguero with the ball over the top. It's a great pass. Hopefully he's onside. He's going to try and bring it down. Struggles a little bit. Ball's a bit too high for him. He's going to go for a cross now. Moreno's in there, trying to connect with it, and actually gets himself a corner 6 minutes in. Good start to the game. Our first attack results in a corner. Suarez to deliver. Oh, there was a touch there, I think, from Sergio Aguero, but Valdez saves. Delph into Moreno. Good bit of play. Moreno looking for a cutback to Aguero. What a strike. What a finish. I've been critical of Sergio Aguero's finishing in recent episodes. That is certainly a hell of a strike from him on the volley, and we've opened up the scoring 1-0, 13 minutes into this game. It's exactly what we had to do. We broke them down, we threw a few more players forward. Fabian Delph and Moreno heavily involved in this. Look at this for a cutback. Fantastic stuff. Aguero does brilliantly considering the height it comes at him, and he makes it 1-0. Great start to the game. The goal that we definitely needed. Oh, surely a penalty. It's been given just before half-time, about 10 minutes before half-time. Adam Clayton fouls, I think, Fabian Delph. Referee gives a penalty. I think it's a pretty obvious one, to be totally honest. Fabian Delph makes his way into the middle. Clayton just goes in behind him. Fabian Delph protects the ball brilliantly, and it's going to be a penalty. Got to be able to score this. I wouldn't say Ferreira's my first choice, though, from the penalty spot here. I would have gone Sergio Aguero, personally. Let's see, can we score it? Sergio Aguero to step up and save by Victor Valdez. It's the second goal that we desperately needed. Didn't happen. Fabian Delph's also been injured as well. Really needed that second goal. Doesn't quite happen. Company now looking to connect with it. Back out to Suarez to re-deliver. And headed away this time. And that is it for the first half. Still only going 1-0. Obviously should be really 2-0. We should have scored from the penalty spot. Sergio Aguero got saved. Remains 1-0, need the second goal, complete domination, really playing fantastically well. Middlesbrough 0 shots so far. The tactics that we've employed on this game have been absolutely incredible, worked fantastically for us. The 3-5-2 formation is completely isolated their attacker. And yeah, we've got a couple of issues to look at here, a few tired players, also having Delph injured as well. We're actually going to, I think, just go with the same team, unless maybe bring on Diaz, take Delph off. But to be honest, I quite like Delph in that centre-attacking mid position. No, we'll keep the team the same. We'll probably make the change in about 15 minutes' time. We'll really try and push for a second goal if we can get one. Hopefully Middlesbrough don't come back into this game, because at the moment they are really not doing anything to disturb us defensively. So hopefully that continues to be the case. Hopefully we can get ourselves the second goal that we so desperately need. And they've got to keep attacking like we did before. Okay, all 3 changes, not even 10 minutes into the second half yet. We're going to bring on Sol, Diaz and Ribeiro. We'll take off Sergio Aguero, Delph and Gundogan. Those players getting quite tired as well as being yellow carded or injured. So we'll see how that goes. Of course, Sol is going to go up front, which is a little bit different. Ferreira's going to go as a holding midfielder, also a little bit different as well. But we're going to go for it. I've played Sol up front once, I think, before off the bench, and he did pretty well. So hopefully you're going to replicate that again. Diaz into Moreno, what a pass. Moreno going to finish this, he has done, he's got the second goal that we needed. And that doubles our lead. Moreno gets it, Diaz gets the assist, and with 15 minutes left, doubled our lead. Made it 2-0. Really good bit of play. Just pulled them apart here, really. Capitalised from a mistake which they made on the attack. And Moreno gets the finish perfectly right on his left foot there into the bottom right-hand corner. Good little finish from him, and we've made it 2-0, exactly what we had to do. And all round, really, really good performance. Tactically got it spot on there with the 3 at the back. Still at 3 at the back, to be honest, but we could have maybe changed to a 4 at the back and done something with that. I think 3 has really worked for us, so we're going to continue with that for the final 10-15 minutes. Well played, Diaz kept going. Diaz going to look for a cut back into Moreno. Oh, the finish on his left foot wasn't quite there this time. Good opportunity. Had to, I think, take it first time. It's always going to be tricky, though, on his weaker foot. And it could have been 3-0 there. Just about kept out by Valdez. Suarez now looking for a bit of build-up play on the edge of the box. Into Ribeiro, who's still going. Going to look back into the middle. Nearly picked out Moreno. Got tackled. That's it. A 2-0 win. Really happy with that. Another 3 points for us again. Another fantastic performance. Got it completely right with the 3 at the back. Worked perfectly for us. They did end up playing just one striker the whole match pretty much. So really happy with that. Obviously got the tactics spot on at the start of the game, which meant that Middlesbrough were very limited to their chances. 1 shot in that match. 9 shots for us, 8 of which on target. Finished winning the game 2-0 as well. We might have had a third maybe, but other than that, I think we pretty much took all our clear-cut chances. Player injured, Fabian Delph out for 3 weeks. Another injury for us. Suspension over for Danny Rose. Player suspended, that's Gundogan. And we've got some monthly scouting updates as well, but we can't add anybody else into the youth academy anymore because we do have a pretty full academy. It's completely full now, and there's no spaces left in the first team either. Okay, play drills before the game against PSG. We've brought in Ribeiro, taken out Ferreira for one of his drills. The rest of the drills remain exactly the same. Let's see how we get on this week with Ribeiro. Desperate to try and get him up a little bit more. This week, not much progress as we anticipated, but Manuel has actually gone up on 3 stats, I think, there, so doing pretty well. Not any closer, though, to the next overall. Okay, so onto the game against PSG. This is the side that I'm going to go with. Ederson starts in goal. Kyle Walker, Stones, Town, Rose in defence. In front of that, we've got Kevin De Bruyne and Sol, then Raheem Sterling, Asensio and Neymar as the 3 centre attacking mids, and then Gabriel Jesus will start up front. Despite him still recovering from injury, we're going to go with it anyway, because Aguero's a little bit tired. He's on the bench just in case Gabriel Jesus was to pick up another injury. Also got Mangala, Ferreira, Gundogan, Diaz, Roberts and Ribeiro as the other options on there. Let's say we get on the first leg of the Champions League quarterfinals against PSG. We are going to be the away team for this leg, so that of course means any goals we score will help us massively going into the next leg. Let's wait and see how we get on. Hopefully get ourselves a few goals to try and give us the edge in the second leg. Okay, so let's go. Big match here against PSG. Let's see how we get on. I'm expecting a pretty good team put out by PSG. Usually they have all the stars on show. I wonder if they've signed any big names as well. Of course, no Neymar because he's in our team and hasn't joined them on this game. So yeah, we are going to wait and see how we get on and hopefully get ourselves a few decent goals to help us in the next leg. Asensio looks to turn and shoot. Asensio, over the bar, hits it really well. Probably a bit too well as he goes flying over. Sterling looking for a cutback into Gabriel Jesus. Just got a toe to it, saved again by the goalkeeper. And PSG scramble to clear it, and it has been cleared. 21 minutes into this game, we are looking at the moment on top and in a good bit of having a good bit of possession around the edge of their box. PSG struggling to get out of that half too much. Ball into Asensio, great chance. He's not going to pass it, he's going to shoot instead. Gabriel Jesus was in the box. I didn't really see an option to pass though. It's going to be a tight angle if he did get the ball there. Kevin De Bruyne now will hit one from range, and again wide. Chance for PSG, good opportunity, still in the box, turns and shoots, saved by Ederson out for a corner. They've actually started to play a little bit better now in the last 10 minutes. PSG had a couple of attacks. This one has resulted in a corner. 5 minutes left of the first half, got to try and clear it. Ederson comes out to punch, gets it right, and it's going to be put back into the box for us to defend. De Bruyne doesn't deal with it, Ederson had to save again. Another corner to try and defend, got to clear it much better than that. Kevin De Bruyne is at the front post to try and head away if necessary, and could have got there, but Neymar will clear. Sol, go on. Just wide. What a hit though on his left foot, so close. Thought he was going to challenge the keeper and maybe even find the back of the net there. Half time, 0-0. Chances for both teams so far. It's been quite an interesting game. PSG have dominated for 10-15 minutes themselves, made things quite interesting for our defence, and then we've attacked for, I'd say, most of the first half, to be honest. We have been on top for most of it. Got to try and find a goal though if we can. Got to try and get an away goal because the likelihood is PSG will do at some point during the next match if they don't in this game. So we've got to try and find a goal if we can in this match. Asensio going to look to Gabriel Jesus in the middle. Actually connects with it. He's going out for a goal kick, but what a ball in there from Asensio. Made his way onto the left-hand side of the pitch. Sol into Danny Rose. Can he hit it from this sort of range? Danny Rose to shoot. Finds the back of the net. He's done it again, this time onto his left foot. I'm pretty sure last episode it was on his right foot that he had a hell of a strike from in one of the earlier games, I'm pretty sure. But we have managed to strike from distance again with Danny Rose, this time on his left foot. No stopping that, into the back of the net. and makes it 1-0. What a hit that is. On his favoured foot this time round, Trapp not going to save it. 1-0 up, and we've only just got into the second half, 60 minutes in. That's obviously the away goal that we're desperate for, which obviously means that in the second leg, it should hopefully give us a little bit of an advantage if we can keep it at the scoreline, and maybe even add to it. Sterling on the right-hand side, going to try and pick out Gabriel Jesus if he can with the cross. Oh, just got themselves in front of that cross there, did the defence, and prevented it from going to Gabriel Jesus. 15 minutes left of this game, got ourselves a corner here. Kevin De Bruyne going to try and deliver, pick someone out in the middle. Neymar's in there, headed away easily. Oh my days, how has that happened? Oh, just some really sudden slick passing, which is quite suspicious to be honest. PSG suddenly just pick up the ball, pass, and shoot, score. So easily, look at this, it's just like ping pong in there. Just passes, hits it first time, as you do, and finds the back of the net. 1-1, very sort of suspicious goal to be honest, unrealistic. The right back all the way forward like that. Makes it 1-1 with about 7 minutes left. Yeah, not so sure about the realism with that goal. PSG starting to have 1 or 2 chances here. They've barely had any chances the whole game, and now they've started to have a couple of chances, and they just scored that one a second ago, and that's probably their first opportunity of the second half. They've also injured Asensio as well. It's another injury for us to add to the tally. Yeah, a little bit annoying. 90th minute here, they're going to turn, and it's an easy shot to save. Final attack maybe. Neymar on the left-hand side, needing another runner. Not going to find it. Everyone's just been a bit lazy here. Raheem Sterling is keep running though. Sterling gets the second goal. That's what we needed. It's going to give us the victory in the 92nd minute. It's the second away goal as well. That'll help us massively in the next leg, because obviously 2 away goals is much better than 1. I don't expect PSG to be able to score 2 against us, I want to 4 in the next leg. Although I could be proven wrong. That's a great finish from Raheem Sterling into the bottom left-hand corner. Trapp again couldn't save it. And we've got ourselves the winner in the 92nd minute. Yep, that's it. 2-1 in the first leg. 2 away goals for us as well. Gives us definitely the advantage going into the next leg. Even a 1-0 win for PSG wouldn't really be enough. They would have to get themselves 2 away goals really to have any chance of getting through into the next round. So happy with that. I think it's deserved as well. We did play the better football, I'd say, on whole, but with PSG having sort of spells of 10 or 15 minutes where they did probably dominate a little bit. So after the win at the start of today's episode, we are now currently 13 points in front of second place, which means Liverpool must have drawn their match, giving us an extra 2 points over them, which is great news, of course. Obviously increases our lead in front of the next team beneath us. So at the moment we are looking pretty likely to go on to win this Premier League title. I'll quickly work out actually how many more points we need. We need 9 more points, 3 more wins, and then we have won the Premier League. We could get the next one against Sunderland here. We are going to, I think, play this game. I think that's probably the right thing to do here. Yeah, we've got the PSG match, which we might be able to get onto today's episode. We'll have to wait and see how we get on against Sunderland. Let's change around the team and, yeah, decide on the side. On to the next game against Sunderland. This is the side that I'm going to go with. Quite a few changes, having played just about 3 days ago, I think. Ederson starts in goal. Cancelo at right back. Company, Mangala and Mendy as the rest of our defenders. Ferreira is a holding midfielder. We're going to give that a go. I've done it before, I think, during a match. Suarez also alongside him. Moreno, Salina and Ferreira as the 3 centre attacking mids, and Aguero starting up front. This is the bench that I've gone with. Stones, Manuel, Lewis, Diaz, Roberts, Ribeiro and Fernandes all on there. Of course, a lot of big names missing out here. Gundogan through suspension as well, which is obviously a shame because he was actually fit and available to play. Other than that, yeah, a lot of big names missing out. They'll also be available for the game against PSG. Let's see how we get on. Got to try and get ourselves another win. Obviously need 9 points. We can get 3 of them in this game. This is the team that Sunderland are going to play for this game against us here. Jordan Pickford, Billy Jones, Dos Santos, Denaya, amongst other players. Hopefully it's going to be an okay game for us. I was actually considering playing a 3 at the back system again in this game, but I have gone against it just because they do have a centre attacking mid, and I think those wingers will probably push on a little bit as well. Certainly more than what we saw in the first game of today's episode. So I'm going to continue with this. Of course, if I do feel like it could work in this game, then we will change to 3 at the back at some point. Let's wait and see how we get on though with this current formation. Salina into Ferreira, who's got forward from midfield. Oh, not a bad strike actually, considering he's actually a left back. Hits it pretty well. Chance here for Sunderland. They've gone through, they've had a shot and it's saved by Ederson. They've followed it up and they've scored it. It's 1-0. Not a good start at all for us here. It's been scored by Lenz, who puts it into an empty net 33 minutes into this game. And it's one of their first proper chances and they've gone and taken it. So frustrating. We've not had that many chances, so I can't complain in that sense. It's not like we've bombarded them with shots or anything. We really haven't in this game so far. But we have had the ball in their half more often. So that's the only thing I can be a little bit annoyed about, that we haven't done more with it. Just trying to break them down, struggling a little bit. Might need to go to 3 at the back, although their attack is pretty good, so that'd be risky. But we've followed up by hitting the bar and... oh, I thought it'd gone in. I thought that had gone in. Pickford keeps it out. Punched away. Thought we'd responded straight away, to be honest. It flicks up, hits the bar. Didn't expect it to hit the bar at all. Thought it was just going to roll into the back of the net. Pickford beats our guy to it, and it is a corner. Very, very dramatic response from us so far. Can we do any better? Pickford punches away, probably unnecessarily, into Moreno, who's going to try and hit it on his left foot. Yeah, probably could have just taken a touch. That's it, still losing the game 1-0 at half-time. Gonna, I think, make some changes at half-time to try and improve things a little bit. Like I said before, I don't actually know whether 3 at the back would really work with this Sunderland team, because they are attacking us a little bit. Certainly on the break anyway. I don't know whether it would actually work though. Okay, so we're going to do something a little bit different. 4-4-2 flat, or 4-4-2 holding, I think. In fact, Diaz is going to come on. We'll take off Salina. He's going to go play up front, Diaz. So we'll see how that goes. Ferreira on the left-hand side, of course. Moreno on the right-hand side. A little bit different. I think it's probably the only way of keeping the 4 at the back and going 2 up front. There's obviously various different ways of doing a 4-4-2, but I think this might be the best one for us for now. We'll obviously look to change it if it doesn't work, and it might leave us a bit exposed in midfield, but we'll wait and see. I don't really see Sunderland keeping hold of possession too much. They certainly didn't in the first half anyway, so that will be a bit surprising if they were to suddenly start doing that. Hopefully this is going to work. Obviously a change of tactics here. Diaz going to now give us another option, hopefully in behind their defence. And we'll see how he gets on in up front. So far, not too bad. Final 2 changes. We're going to basically take off both Ferreiras. We're also going to bring on Lewis and Roberts. Lewis is going to play alongside Sol here, just to kind of make it a little bit more lively in midfield, so a bit more creative and technical than Ferreira, obviously a left-back playing there. We've got ourselves a corner here. Suarez is going to try and deliver. Can he pick anybody out? Mendy's in there, going to look for a flick on. Cleared pretty comfortably. Diaz. Yes, chance for Diaz. Go on, and he scores. He's got the equaliser. That's what we needed. The youngster scores. We've managed to get ourselves back on level terms. 15 minutes left of this game. Maybe a chance for us to go on to try and win this match. It's going to be tough though. 4-4-2 formation is obviously tough formation to try and play. I think we might look to actually switch it up despite it getting us the goal. I don't really see it being enough to get ourselves a second one. We're being very lucky there with the chance opening up. I'm going to change it slightly, I think. Okay, so 4-4-2 diamond is what we're going to go for. Patrick Roberts at centre attacking mid. Suarez obviously playing in there alongside Moreno and Lewis. Moreno obviously not ideal to be in that position, but we're going to see how it goes. Final 15 minutes. We're moving our width a little bit. It's not really being used by either team, so we're going to see how that goes. It could be a bit risky, to be honest, but we'll go with it anyway. The 4-4-2 formation, I don't think would have worked in this final 15 minutes now. Sunderland will probably start to push up front a little bit again. Come on, Aguero, you might have to do this by yourself unless we get some support here. Sergio Aguero going to come inside, look for a pass, a chance for Lewis. Oh, it's right at Pickford. Needed to pick out a corner, so close. Really good runs though from those midfielders. It's exactly why we changed the formation. We needed a centre attacking mid in the side between their midfield and defence. Roberts is in there, going to try and go for it. Always tough for him. Going to see whether Aguero can try and get it back in. Oh, nearly found the back of the net. Pickford had to put it over the bar. Completely unintentional, of course, but it was close. Out for another corner. Suarez to try and deliver this time a bit better. Mendy's in there, connects with another corner. Don't know whether I agree with that, but we'll take it. Come on, Suarez. Let's pick somebody out a bit better. Mendy again, flicks on this time. Saved by Pickford. That's it. Finishes 1-1. Not a bad result, obviously 2 points dropped, but it could have been much worse. We managed to get ourselves an equaliser in what was a tough game with such a heavily rotated side and the way that Sunderland defend. Managed to find a way to break them down though. It was obviously by going with the 4-4-2 formation. It did work, and in fact I think with another 10-15 minutes we might well have got ourselves a winner, but wasn't meant to be. We've drawn the game 1-1. It could have been much worse, so I'll take a draw, I think, from that match. Now, before we end today's episode, we are going to get on with some player drills, the exact same drills that we did last week. Hopefully going to get ourselves a bit more progress this week. It did seem like we might, and we have done actually. Loads of players flying up on attributes. No change in overall, though. We're getting a little bit closer to 75. Manuel getting quite close to 69 overall now as well. So, some good progress, but still no change in overall. We won't have time for the PSG second leg. That'll be next episode, unfortunately. After quite a few decent matches, I think, today's episode. Performance-wise, very interesting. Managed to obviously beat a lot of teams and play some good football at the same time. So, of course, that's the most important thing. Not on track. Is this still the youth academy? They want us to sell some youth players. I'm trying, but there's not that many youth players I want to sell, to be honest. And it won't even be achieved either, because we're not going to get into a transfer window before the end of the season. Okay, so that's everything for today's episode. Thank you all so much for watching. If we could try and hit 100 likes, I'd really appreciate it. Also, if you're new to the channel, maybe you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead, hit that subscribe as well down below, and that'd be absolutely fantastic. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter as well, at GameFaceHD, and also GameFaceHD on Instagram as well. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.